Good evening, Who Dat Nation, and a happy Wednesday on a Tuesday to our Bayou Blitz family. Yep, that's right. Your Bayou Blitz podcast is coming at you with not only a special event, special broadcast, but a couple of special guests to join us. I hope everybody is doing well on this Tuesday evening. I am Bob Rose, as always. And also, as always, I'm joined by my co host, Brendan Boylan. Brendan, happy Thanksgiving Tuesday.
Yeah, you as well. We got
Thank you.
to, push some things around with the holidays, travel schedules, all that stuff. All you guys traveling tomorrow, especially be careful on the
Yeah.
roads. They're calling it one of the, I feel like we say this every year, but they're calling it one of the busiest travel days in the United States, maybe ever. So you guys that are on the roads, especially, be careful out there. But a happy Thanksgiving to you, Bob. A happy Thanksgiving to one of our special guests. Saints Hall of Famer, Mike the Beer Man Lewis. Mike, how you doing this evening?
I'm good. I'm good. And yourself?
Doing well.
Good. Listen, one of the reasons that Michael Lewis has been so kind to take out some of his time to join us is your Bayou Blitz continues to be proud of the fact to be one of the promoters of the original Go Black and Gold charity fan cruise. The proceeds of this cruise benefit the American Cancer Society. So listen, you can't beat that. And the event itself, the cruise itself, is going to be from March 27th through the 31st. And it's a terrific event with an ultimate fan experience. Viewers of the show, that Delvin Bro is involved with this. We've had him on. Courtney Roby, Tyrone Hughes, Lance Moore have all been involved in this cruise. We've had them on. Now we're fortunate to have Michael Lewis on. And Michael, I know, we're going to have a show devoted to you. It's been long overdue, my friend.
Yes.
But talk to our fans a little bit about the Go Black and Gold Celebrity Fan Cruise, and I know you have a big announcement too.
Oh yeah. The best thing about it is I've been on this cruise, man. This coming year that's coming up was make my 11 years. So I've been on every single one of the cruises. That's just to show you that how special this cruise is to me and what it means to me as far as what the foundation of get check or check out, that's very important because I think everybody needs to make sure that they take care of themselves. That's like the biggest thing in the world. So, going on this cruise, and I think it's even more special that the fans get a chance to actually interact and be around us the whole time that we're on this cruise. And I mean, there's a bunch of fun. There's a whole lot of things that we do just for the guys and girls that's actually on the cruise with us. We have our own little thing going on. I remember one year we did something and we had a theme night or whatever, and it was like the 70s night, and I was dressed up like a pimp and everything, and we all had our little thing, and we walked into the nightclub that they have or whatever, and when I tell you we walked in and all eyes were stuck on us, and people was asking us all kind of questions like, man, how we get involved and how we do this and that like that, those are the type of things that just makes it that much special because they have a lot of other people that's on the cruise. But when they see us doing what we're doing, they're trying to get involved or find out what's going on and how to be involved in this here. And I think that, just adding guys to it just makes it a little bit more special.
Sure.
Well, Mike, I know that in the conversations we've had with a handful of these guys that are on the cruise, everybody's got their favorite event that goes on every single year. I know you guys are all competitors. I feel like deep down, everybody wants to say them Beach Olympics, but what's the best event for you, Mike? What do you look forward to every year?
The putt-putt event. Everybody always coming after me. They say I'm the cheater. I know how to cheat and all of that type of stuff there. So I got the label. I was a cheater because one year we was playing and the guys that I was playing with, they actually wound up bringing golf balls, real golf balls. So we didn't use the ones that comes on the cruise. So most of the guys, it was weird windy up there. Their ball was blowing all over the place and stuff like that. So they labeled me as a cheater because I had real golf balls. But the putt-putt is one of my favorite events.
Just to put you on notice, Lance called you out last week, and said he was gunning for you in the putt-putt. That thing must be real competitive, man.
Oh, very. When I say it's like everybody is like following each other. We watching, we making sure nobody's trying to cheat. I'm talking about like we trying to make each other make mistakes and oh yeah, it gets bad. It gets real bad.
So listen, and we have a few months, and we're going to have all you guys back on, obviously, hopefully once or twice more between now and the cruise. But we've teased it for like a week and a half now. There is going to be a new former Saint Great joining you guys this year, isn't that right?
Yes, it is, and I can't wait. I'm happy. I'm excited because I've been waiting on this for a long time. I had a conversation with this guy in June, and we talked about a lot of different things or whatever. Yeah, I'm kind of excited about this guy coming with us this year.
Well, I guess go ahead and let's rip the bandage off. Mike, who is the newest member of the original Go Black and Gold fan cruise?
This guy here, real special guy to me. He was a part of the Saints Super Bowl team. He made great plays, in the Super Bowl, not even just in the Super Bowl, just with his organization and everything. I think he's a great add-on to the guys that are actually going. Real down-to-earth guy. I can't wait to bring him in. This guy, I think everybody that's going on the cruise with us, and I think people are going to want to jump on now even more so. This guy right here, man, is really going to make it so much special. I want to introduce everybody. The guy that we're bringing on this year is my guy, Super Bowl champ, Saints Hall of Famer, Mr. Pierre Thomas.
There we go.
Welcome to the show, Mr. Pierre Thomas.
How we doing? Gentlemen?
Good. Michael, I forgot to hold yours up too. I got a bunch of cards of both of you, and I dropped the ball on that one. So
that's all right. I'm used to it, man.
Nah.
I'm old and washed up, man. It's not about me. It's all about Pierre right now.
Well, and welcome to the show, Pierre. I hope you're doing well. So yeah, how'd they rope you into this cruise this year? This is your first time on it, right?
Yes, this is my first time. I got roped in. Just by Courtney Roby, Lance Moore. I talked to those dudes a couple of times, kind of frequently. And, they told me through the years, and also, going to certain golf events, Mike Lou would talk about it too. And he's always trash talking when when you speak to him. So you're going to get a lot through Mike. And that's what makes him so special. But, they always say how amazing the cruise is, how fun it is. And, that I got to join at some point. I know Lance and Roby definitely been trying to get me to go. It's just the timing just wasn't right for me, just getting things going for myself. Off the field, doing a lot of things on my end. But now, 2025, I get to say I'm coming aboard.
Love to hear it. I asked Mike about, favorite events and this and that. And of course, we're joking it up about the competitive nature. You got a handful of teammates. You've already named them in Courtney Roby and Lance Moore. What are you gunning for? What are you gunning to win when we're talking about Beach Olympics and putt-putt?
Beach Olympics and putt-putt. Okay, well, I don't know what's everything involved in the Beach Olympics, but you know what? I'm with it. I'm with the challenge. I love a good challenge. I'm a competitive, just like we all are. Yes. And the putt-putt, I got skills, and I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna show my skills. I've been doing my thing out there on the golf course. Still a little rusty, but hey, you know what? I'm in cold Chicago right now, so I don't get a chance to practice like some of these dudes do. But you know what? When I come out there, I show up. Just like every time I touch that field, I will show up and I will show out. And that's exactly what I'm going to do when I get on that cruise. So, Mike Lou, be ready for that putt-putt because you're going to have your hands full when I get on that ship.
Man, look, I already got my hands full, man. I already know everybody be gunning for me, so I'm used to it, man. Like I said, it don't matter. You just bring. I got something special for y'all this year, though. I'm gonna bring something special for y'all.
But you got a gold putter or something?
No, I need one, man. I need all the help in the world. Trust me.
I don't know, Mike. Pierre kind of threw you under the bus when he said that you're always in his ear on the golf course. So if you're on the golf course that much, Mike, tell us why you've been winning these putt-putts year in and year out.
Well, it's not that, man. I play in a lot of golf tournaments, man. It's just easy for me that way. I just find somebody on the team that can hit the ball far and long and in the fairway, then I ain't got to worry about nothing. I always tell them that, you know, if they get one good shot from me and they use it, man, I did my job. So I don't worry about that. So it's just golf tournaments. It's not playing like Pierre does. See, Pierre get to go out and play. I don't. I'm learning. I'm trying to learn how to play golf. I just play in golf tournaments. You know what I'm saying? I just be out there shaking hands and kissing babies.
Yeah, Mike will try to get in your head. That's what he does. He's a
And
master at getting in your head when you're in the middle of the game when it's competitive.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. I told you I'd be hanging all over the thing on the boat, trash talking, making sure they make mistakes and stuff. Yeah, man, look, any advantage I can use, I try my best.
and listen, both of you guys are literally legends and among Saints fans. Yeah, certainly fan favorites, and your careers were only a couple of years apart, the two of you. Uh, Both of you have remained pretty active in Saints events throughout the years. Certainly, alumni functions. Are you each involved with the current team? Yeah, pretty heavily.
I am. I'm always around. I do a lot of community stuff with the organization, from being from New Orleans and playing there for 6 years or whatever. So I'm close to being around a lot. I try to do as much as I can. I mean, when they call upon me to come do stuff, I mean, guys like Pierre, they only can come in at certain times because they're not as close as I am. So, yeah, I'm highly involved with the organization.
Yeah, I was going to piggyback off what Mike said. I would love to get down there as much as I could. I just got to find the windows. Now that I'm starting a new adventure in my life on the real estate side, and I got a lot of things going on with mentoring, working with my old alumni on that aspect, and I got a carpentry business. I'm just staying busy out over here in Chicago, here in the Windy City. But as much as I can, I mean, now during those winter time, I might be able to sneak my butt down to the south where it's a lot warmer.
Yes.
Well, Pierre, I'll ask you this. Obviously, there's a lot that goes into this fan cruise and where the proceeds are going and get checked or get checked out. Was there any part of that kind of tugged on your heartstrings or any of those things that mean a lot to you that made it even more important to get involved?
Well, yes. I mean, recently I lost a good friend to cancer, a good childhood friend. His name was Perry Davis. He passed away this past weekend, actually. So, I mean, I knew he was battling it for a while, and this is something that I wish we all could have got to early. He didn't know. It was one of those moments where it's like we didn't get checked out. This guy was a bodybuilder. We thought he was a warrior. He was a warrior in my eyes. This guy was a funny guy, smart guy. I mean, we hung out so many times. Even when I was in the league, I met him when we played in London. He was in the Air Force. He was stationed out there in London, and then we met up off season in Japan. He got moved out of London and went to Okinawa. He was stationed out there, and we both met up in Tokyo. And he's a very, like, when you meet him, you'll think he's your best friend. He'll give you the shirt off his back. He will be your best friend. He will be there when you're down, when you're happy. He'll just have your back no matter what. And just to have someone like that in your life and to be taken away, by something that's just been gruesome and taken so many lives away, I really want to help out and be a part of it and, try to stop this as best as we can. And this is something that, even though, like you just said, getting checked out, I told him a lot of us guys, got together during the time that he was sick, and we said that we need to start getting checked out, because I know I don't get checked out too often as I should, because we didn't know that this was going on with him, and he didn't know until the last minute. So this mean a lot, and I definitely am looking forward to, being a part of this and seeing everything that goes on with this event. It's my first go around. I've been hearing good news about it, and the proceeds where it's going to is going to a great cause, because we all out here need to check on ourselves and get checked out no matter what, because we never know what's going on within our body internally.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, and folks, yeah, the cruise itself again is from March 27th through the 31st. You can book a cabin through the Seven Seas Travel Agency, or not only to book for booking opportunities, but for promotional or donation opportunities. Contact Shireen DeWalt, through the Go Black and Gold Celebrity Fan Cruise Facebook page. We also post the links and the posters on our Bayou Blitz Facebook page too. Pierre, you guys, Mike, everybody else, you guys know Shireen a lot better than I do. I've only gotten to know her last couple months. Love her, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah, I could see why you guys, have such a great relationship with her. But this is not the only event that this organization sponsors. Is that correct?
So can you repeat that one more time?
The cruise itself. I mean, the cruise is the highlight, but the organization, the foundation, sponsors different events and supports the American Cancer Society all year round. Is that correct?
Yes. Like you said, she does so much. She actually helped me out with my friend. I got a chance to, ask a lot of questions to the doctor and try to figure out certain things. She was always there when I was going through my trouble with my friend. So she gave out so many resources, so many different ideas that some of the families didn't think about, and she was able to help them the best that she can at the distance she was in. So I mean, she does a tremendous job, at getting some of us guys to come out there to support and help, and just doing a tremendous job with the organization. I mean, she's a terrific person and a angel, coming down from heaven that does so much and just looks out for everybody. So I am grateful that I have a chance to meet her during this time in my life. So I'm very happy and very excited to know her and keep moving forward in the future with her.
Awesome stuff. To kind of switch gears and talk a little bit of football while we have you this evening. I think one thing that's really special about New Orleans is the relationship between the Saints and the fans. And you talked about, what Shireen was able to do for you in some of your hardships. One thing that you and your Saints teams were able to do was directly impact the lives of people in New Orleans as they were recovering through Hurricane Katrina. Was that something that you guys were actively aware of in the locker room, or was it just one of those, hey, we're going to go out there and play, and then once the lights were turned off, the trophy was raised at the end of 2009, did it hit you then, or was it something you guys were really aware of during the season?
Well, we've been aware of it. I know I can speak for myself, but just coming in, I came in 2007, 2 years after Katrina, and just seeing the city itself, and after that devastation through Katrina and what it did, the damage it did to that city and the community, to these people. I mean, it made you really want to fight hard for these people, fight hard for the city of New Orleans, fight hard for the fans, and fight hard for the organization, because you see everybody was fighting. And that's the one thing that kept us going, was keep fighting. And we noticed through the fight that it was going to take all of us, not just us as players, but the fans as well, to make it to the Super Bowl. And we needed the fans to come into that Superdome and get it loud and get it rocking. When that opponent offense is up there, make sure they can hear, the quarterback give out certain calls, or the quarterback can't hear the play calls going through his helmet. We needed all of that energy inside that Superdome to help electrify us as players to go out there and perform the best to our ability. So we had to have the city behind us and the fans behind us, as a community, as one team, and that's what we got. And once 2009 hit, I mean, you just saw everything's just clicking for us. We were getting the love and excitement from the fans, and the offense was doing a great job. The defense was doing a tremendous job on turning the ball over and scoring. We didn't even have to go out there and score, So that year, and then I would say Sean, his staff, his whole team did a good job of putting together a character of great guys, uh, non-selfish players, players who went out there and played for each other like a family, like a community. Just like New Orleans pulled for each other during that devastation time, and to rebuild, and for us to go out there in the community and also rebuild. I remember there was a time where Sean was like, "Hey, you know what? This is what we're going to do. We're going to go out here in the community and we're going to rebuild." During that time, so that was like my first time actually kind of, you could say, direct me into rehabbing and get into real estate, because I had to put up dry walls. I had to, you know, hammer down some woods on the steps and everything of that nature, screw down some wood. So it was, you know, it was very, heartwarming to do that and be able to give back and be within the city and give back so much to the city when so much was taken from that city. So, I mean, and then now that you see as the future go on, the team is excelling, it's still doing good. You got tremendous players out there, Alvin Kamara, Cam Jordan is still out there doing his thing. And Taysom Hill, I mean, that kid right there. You mean what of an athlete? You know what I mean? What an athlete right there. Could do just about everything. And I really like that, because that's what my mentality was. I want to go out here and do everything as much as I could. I was still on special teams here and there. I mean, until they took me off, I was trying to yell. I was trying to tell them, put me back on there. I want to be on that field as much as possible, because I want to help out as much as possible. That was just my drive. That was my demeanor. I want to go out there and I want to help. I don't want to be taken off the field unless I need a quick breather. I'm not Superman. I might need a breather or two, but I want to go out there and I want to help. I want to win nonstop. I want to go out there until, we have, 0-0 in the fourth quarter, and whatever the score is, that's what the score is. I know I went out there and I played my butt off and I left it all out there on the field.
Well, and like you said, we always viewed you as the ultimate team player too. I think it's one of the many reasons why you were a fan favorite. But you were, and I'm not telling you anything you don't know. You were in a backfield by committee, under Sean's offense, and that's kind of have always been a staple of Sean's career. But during your career, with everything that you were able to do on the football field, run the ball between the tackles, run the ball out wide, downfield receiver, screens. Were you ever tempted in free agency to maybe leave New Orleans and sign with the team, for a potential bigger role within their offense?
I wouldn't say tempted. There was a time within my career, I want to say it was after 2010, is that the year I got hurt. That was my last year, and there was negotiation between the Patriots and the Saints. The Patriots reached out, and this was this actually happened. I was looked at the Patriots when we actually played against them in the preseason of 2010. After practice, I was sitting there talking to Randy Moss. He was, telling me I was doing a good job and all this. And I just told him, I said, "Look, man, I've been watching you for years. You're one of my idols as an athlete. Just the way you present yourself, and the energy you bring to the game, and all of you accomplished. Even though we play two different sports, I just still respect him as an athlete." And Bill Belichick came over as we were talking, and he said, "Hey, man, I've been looking at you, and I know this is your last year. And possibly I'm gonna probably get you next year. I'm gonna reach out. So stay tuned." I'm just looking at him like, "Man, you see what uniform I got on right now, guy?" I said, "Talk to me when the season's over, but right now you're my enemy, and I'll see you Sunday during preseason." But I would say, man, Bill Belichick, he kind of jinxed me that year, because kind of right after that, I will say the third game of the season, that's when I got hurt of my ankle injury. And I was out for a long period of time, and tried to come back towards the end of the season, but my ankle wasn't right, and I knew something was wrong. And after that season, I had to get surgery. But during that time, the talk was, it was a negotiation period between the Saints and the Patriots, and I was trying to speak to the Saints. I was telling the Saints, like, "Hey, I want to stay here, but you seen what I can do. You seen what I've accomplished. Speak to me. I want to be here. I want to stay here. Talk to me. Make it look nice. Because the Patriots made it look pretty decent, but I know they can. I'm like, look, I don't want to go there, but if I have to, I know it's another great organization. I said, but I want to stay here because I'm comfortable here. I was welcomed here by this organization and these fans, the community, with open arms. And when you get something like that, you don't want to turn your back on it. You don't want to leave them because, they are down for you since they didn't know nothing about you. You guys saw me put that jersey on and saw what I could do on that field. And I tell a lot of fans this when I see them too. A lot of people, I said, look, you guys are the reason I made the team. And they say, no, you did. I said, well, no, I did my part, but you guys sealed the deal by accepting me and basically kind of sending in letters, yelling at the organization, like, keep Pierre Thomas. If you guys don't, I'm not going to, I'm not going to be the same. I've heard a lot of different stories, but, those are some of the similar stories I heard. Like, I'm going to disown you guys if you do this. It was nice to hear from random people, that, just saw my talents and could be used here. And I wanted to be here because it was just a great fit. It was the calling, God sent. He told me, this was my team. And I got a quick story. I can tell you why he kind of said this was my team. In high school, I wore the number 20. And in college, I wore the number 30. And you take those two first numbers. And I didn't ask for that number, 23. God sent it. So once I saw the message, it's like I can't leave.
Nice.
I can't leave. This is my destiny to be here. And then next year, 3 years later, we won the Super Bowl.
I want to ask you, you played with some really talented dudes in the backfield. Bob kind of alluded to that running back by committee during your years in New Orleans. I want to ask you, what was the biggest difference playing with the guys in 09, you, Reggie, and Mike Bell, versus the 2011 team, which was you, Darren Sproles, Chris Ivory, Mark Ingram? What were some of the biggest similarities and biggest differences in those two groups of guys?
That's a good question. I don't want to say there was that big of a difference. You know what I mean? You just got new players, different talents. But Reggie and Mike, I mean, we were a triple threat. I think they called us like the three-head dragon or a three-head monster. You had Reggie who can do just about anything in the backfield. But they utilized him differently, more with the passing scheme. Mike Bell, hard-nosed runner, downhill runner, will break through a brick wall, and I mean, will just keep going. I mean, we've seen him doing that years. What he can do, the damage he can do, and me being more versatile, of trying to do both Reggie and Mike Bell. Especially watching these guys in practice and kind of seeing their specialties and trying to put it within my talents. It was very exciting to watch Reggie and Mike do their thing, but then when Sproles, Mark Ingram, and Chris Ivory came onto the scene, it felt like that atmosphere again with Mike Bell and Reggie Bush. You had Sproles who can do just about anything and everything, just like Reggie could do. And then you had Chris Ivory, who was another hard runner, downhill runner. I mean, I told Chris this, hands down, I think there was just a few things Chris just didn't have that made him didn't be the starter, the main guy. There's just certain things he was missing, and I was trying to help him, but he was working on them the best he could. And everybody has our flaws. We all have our flaws. My flaw was I wasn't fast enough, but I was consistent. But no, I told Chris, I said, Chris, you are a heck of an athlete. I said, hands down, I think you can beat Mark Ingram, myself, and Sproles out for the starting position. I said, you just have to work on a few things. And I said, I'm here to help you out, because if I don't help you, how am I going to get better? You know what I mean? I want to get you to your potential, like your highest potential that you can be. Because if you work hard and you get there, that's going to allow me to even work even harder, because it's like, okay, this guy can take my job. You know, he was like a gifted athlete, Chris. And he went on and showed it when he went to the Jets as well. You know, he went on and showed it when he was with the Jaguars as well. Like, he is a hard runner. He can do a lot. It was just, I know the protection scheme was a little different for him. And I was trying to help him, you know, as much as I could. And I told him, let me know if you need help. You know, and that's the same thing I did with Sproles and Mark. But those guys, you know, they picked it up very well. You know, Sproles coming from San Diego, outstanding athlete,
Mm-hmm.
you know, Hall of Famer right there. I mean, he's a heck of a player. And, you know, Mark coming in from Alabama as an explosive player. I knew Mark, and I told Mark this as well. I said, Mark, you're my replacement. I said, you are my replacement, because I can see it. I said, you can pass block. You can run between the tackles. You can catch. You know what I mean? You are the total package. And I said, but you need to learn the system. You're young just now, and you're just getting in. And he's like, no, man, Pete, they're not going to get rid of you. I'm like, Mark, I saw it, because I saw the transition between myself and Deuce. I see what they're doing. I see how they're using me and how they use Deuce. And you start to pick up on things. But I told them as well, I was teaching, this was a time in, I know I'm rambling on about a lot of different things, but I'm just giving you stories, inside stories about both different groups. But the one with Mark, when him and Sproles came out, this was our first training camp. Our position coach, believe this is Ingles at the time. He left the room. He left the room for a quick second, and he asked me if I could take over. I'm like, wait, what? You want me to take? He was like, yeah, just take over on a play call, like the plays, you know, tell these guys the plays. So I'm just like, all right, I'm not getting paid for this, but all right, I'll do it. So as we sitting there, I'm going through the plays, you know, teaching the guys all the plays. And I heard Mark and Sproles. It was, I think it was Mark, or it was Sproles. One of these guys said, he was like, man, you teaching it better than the coach is doing. I said, yeah, I'm breaking it down where it's real simple for us to understand. I said, but the coach is doing what his job is. He's going to teach you everything, but I'm going to teach you what you really need to know just for your job. I said, now all the extra stuff, now you have to do that. You have to know what this guy's doing and what that guy's doing. And that's what the coach was doing. He was telling you what everybody was doing out there on the field, which as a coach, yes, you are supposed to do that. But when you're trying to do it as a player, you try to learn things at a fast pace, and you just need like the basic job of your job. I simplified it real easy for these guys to understand and know. And it was like, man, I appreciate that. I said, look, I gotta teach you guys. It's like the same thing I told to Chris. I said, if I don't teach you, how am I going to get better?
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're playing the same position. You know, we out here trying to win together. We are teammates. I want you guys to know everything that goes on that field, because I need you to step up if I get hurt, or I need to step up if you get hurt. So we all need to know everybody's position and what is going on, so we can win this, because this is a team effort, a team sport. Not one of us can win the Super Bowl on our own. We have to do it as a team, as a group. So as me being that leader of that group, I had to make sure my guys knew exactly what they were doing on that field, because we are not going to be ones to be like labeled out or point at saying it's the running back group.
Mm-hmm.
No, because that's going to come back on me as the leader. And it's like, no, I'm not having that.
Pierre, one of the things I'm most excited about for the Go Black and Gold charity fan cruise is the Q&A sessions, and the fact that you guys, it's my understanding anyway, that you guys are going to be intermingled, with the cruise goers for much of the trip. I've already, and Brendan and I both know this, but yeah, I already saw this firsthand out of you guys, as a team. Some of yourselves, especially you, more as individuals as than others. But clear back in 2014, Greenbrier training camp. I actually met you. You took a few minutes off to the side after practice, and posed for a couple pictures with my younger daughters at the time. But I want to now. I'm rambling, and you were dead on about the football stuff. I'm just off on a tangent here. I wanted to ask you about Greenbrier though, because it seemed like there was the Saints themselves were going through a transition from 2013, 2014, and in those years, Lance had left after 2013. You, Jimmy, a couple other people left after 2014. Did you kind of sense that 2014 season that some sort of change was in the air? Did you feel a different kind of intensity, that first year at the Greenbrier training camp?
Well, yes. I mean, things were being changed. Things were being altered differently. Now that we're no longer was practicing somewhat back home, and we're going out to different places to practice. You start to wonder like what's going on here. Something's up. Everybody starts to sense something, but you don't really want to be that. You don't want to talk about it too loud, and somebody hear you speaking on it. But you can sense some changes starting to come, and moves were being made, and they were more trying to figure out what was the best move. And I understand, this is an organization, this is a business, and they're trying to look at the future and trying to see, what is their best position to be in, and who can they bring along on that ride as well. So they had to make tough decisions during those times. But to answer your question, I mean, it kind of threw me off a little bit, but you have to work and you have to do your best to just stay on track and not worry about all the outside noise, and just, keep grinding the best way you can. I mean, that organization, what they did, the moves that they made it because they had to make it.
Well, Pierre, I know that you're having to go here in a moment. Wanted to thank you for taking some time to chat with us. I have one last question. You can answer it in one simple word, but I've asked every guy we've had on this that has played for both teams, 2009 or 2011. Which was the better team?
Yeah, because you got me, because I kind of felt like this was going to come up once you hit on the running back group. I mean, that's a tough one, man. The only reason it's a tough one because you got one hand, one won the Super Bowl,
right?
But the other hand, I mean, we had players, we were breaking records, and we could have won that Super Bowl as well. And if I'm not, correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't the Super Bowl in New Orleans that year as well?
No, that was 2012. I forget where it was in 2011 season, but yeah, 2012, the following year was in the Superdome.
Okay, I didn't know. That was like, I think that would have been the first time where we could have played in the Superdome. We would have been the first team if we didn't lose to San Fran. But whew, I mean, I got to stick with the 09 because we won it. When it comes down to it, did you win it? That's what it all comes down to. Did you win it?
Good point.
To speak on that, the reason why I say that is because there was a time after we won the Super Bowl, and I'm at a signing in California. I can't remember for what organization or what company flew me out there for the signing, and they sit me next to Dan Marino. And I'm like, oh my God, this is Dan Marino. Okay, you know what? One of the best quarterbacks out there, legend, and I'm sitting next to him. I got the ring, and I'm signing. I didn't want to interrupt. I didn't want to say no. I'm just sitting there. I wanted to speak to him, but I'm just like, we're signing. Let me just, sign. And then he looked over. He was like, man, I'll give anything. And he looked over at me and he pointed at the ring. He was like, I'll give anything to go back and get one of those. And for him to say that, and I'm just like, wow, that means a lot. That means a lot. And I'm just like, man, you're Dan Marino. I said, you can have it. No, I was just like, no, man. I was like, yes, I understand. I said, man, you were so close. And I said, I can understand what you mean. I said, it was a great feeling, to be honest. And I'm like, I didn't know what else to say because I didn't want to rub it in. And it was like, yeah, I got one. But no, he was a great guy. And I also said, like, man, and I also asked him a question. I was like, look, you're Dan Marino, one of the best quarterbacks out there. I said, I watched you growing up. I said, but I also want to ask you this because you was also around one of my other favorite actors. I said, what was Jim Carrey like?
Ooh, it's a good question.
And he was like, he's a nut, but he's a good guy no matter what. He's an all around good guy. So me and Dan Marino got a chance to talk, but that's why I say 2009 because of that. We got a chance to win the chip, so nice. That was the best.
Pierre, I know you got to get running. Thank you so much for taking some of your time. I hope we can get you back on to help promote the cruise. I know it's coming up at the end of March. So if it's okay, hopefully Brendan and I will reach out to you.
Reach out to me next year.
You got it. And again, thank you so much for not only everything that you've done for Who Dat Nation, but joining us tonight. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family.
Happy Thanksgiving to you, gentlemen, too.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Pierre.
Yeah, have a good one.
Well, folks, that was Pierre Thomas, introduced by the legend himself, Michael Lewis. Yeah, man, you can't. We've been on a hot streak, Brendan. Helping promote being fortunate to be part of the promotion. For the Go Black original Go Black and Gold charity fan cruise. We were excited in the last couple weeks, knowing that Pierre was going to join us, and just kind of teasing it with the mystery. We put the silhouette up there, the silhouette of the trading card, by the way. Thank you, Pierre. Thank you, Michael Lewis. Mike, if you're still listening, we're going to have you. You're next, man. You're up on deck for your own show and for your own featured broadcast. But man, I mean, these guys all being on the same boat at the same time. If you're a cruise goer that's going time and time again, you got to be excited. You're yearly when this thing comes up. If you're a first timer, you got to be doubly excited that you have the opportunity, to not only hang out with these guys, but hang out with them on their level. I mean, it's one thing to get an autograph signed, exchange a few words after a training camp practice, or after a game. Or you and I, Brendan, we've been fortunate enough to cover this team now for several years. So you kind of feel up close and personal. But a cruise or an event like this is something on a whole different level. Where you're getting to hang out with them as people. And I for one, am excited for that.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. And like you said, to have that many guys, not just that many guys from multiple eras of Saints football too. So, if it's a family event and, father, son, father, daughter, mother, whatever, you're going to be able to find someone that was one of your favorite players while they were playing for the New Orleans Saints that are going to be on that cruise. And I think that's super cool as well. One thing I really appreciated about talking with Pierre, and one thing I really appreciate anytime we get to talk with these guys, and I think it's kind of funny that we've heard it numerous times through our media careers and our journalism careers of, oh, sorry, I'm rambling. But it's like, no, like, keep rambling. Like, some of those stories and just reflecting back on locker rooms or advice they were given players that were, at young parts of their career. I mean, Pierre's talking with rookie Mark Ingram and a young Chris Ivory, who that was a big debate at one point. Like, is Chris going to be the guy over Mark? Because of how well Chris Ivory was playing. I mean, those are insights that you don't get from, anything. You can go back and find, articles from back then. You can go back and find, practice interviews or post-game interviews from back then. And none of that stuff gets brought up. One, because, while you're playing, you probably shouldn't talk to the extent of some of that stuff. But I mean, it's great insight that I didn't have, you didn't have, the viewers didn't have, of, like you said, kind of getting a little more up close and personal and what was really going on during, 2011, what was really going on in 2014 at the Greenbrier. Like, what was the feeling like for some of those veterans during what was a very obvious change in the organization? Those are wonderful things. And whether it's been Pierre, Courtney, Lance, Delvin Bro, we've got such good insight into some of those teams and some of those locker rooms. And I think that type of conversation and information is invaluable to you guys listening, and to us, Bob and I as well, because all the years we've covered this team, just like it's new information to you guys, it's new information for us too. And that's a really exciting thing.
Yeah, you're not. Yeah, guys, if any of you are listening, you're not rambling at all. Brendan and I are happy to set the mic down and just let you go. Because we're media, but above and beyond that, we look at ourselves as a funnel from you, the players, to you guys, the fans, the listeners, the viewers, and I know if I'm tuning into the show, no offense to you, Brendan, no offense to me, I'm not. If I have the chance to listen to a Pierre Thomas or a Michael Lewis or Tyrone Hughes or any of those guys, I'm going to listen to those over Bob Rose and Brendan Boylan probably most of the time.
Absolutely. Oh, then for us too, like, yes, we're in positions of media. We're in positions where we've had such a fortunate opportunity in our lives to do something we absolutely love, but we wouldn't be in the positions of journalism if we weren't just first fans of football.
Right.
So being able to hear stories and go in depth about football also we get excited about that too, because we love the game. That's why we do what we do every week. And like I said, it's just invaluable insight. Especially for the fans that love those teams. And you guys know, if you've watched Bob and I over the last few years, especially this show, especially the last 139 episodes Bob and I have done, we love the 11 team. Even though they didn't win the whole thing, the 11 team was a lot of fun. So to be able to hear insight about that team, or even just Pierre's breakdown of why he'd pick 09 over 11, and I wasn't going to say it because I know he was trying to jump out of there. He's the first one to say 09.
He is.
Which is kind of funny to me. Because everybody's 11 was so much more talented. It's like, yeah, but they won the ring in 09. And that story about Dan Marino, like, what an awesome story, and it's true. Like, you go out and some of these athletes get the chance to go work with GTSM or CSA, and I'm just giving shout outs to these big companies that put on these events, but these huge events where there's hundreds of athletes there, you never know what table you're going to get sat at, who you're going to be sitting next to. And what an awesome story right after winning the Super Bowl in 09 for Pierre to be like, well, one of those agencies flew me out and I happen to be next to one of the greatest players to never win a ring. And we got to talk about that. Or the story about Randy Moss and Bill Belichick, like those things, those are just incredible, awesome stories. And I will never, ever get sick of hearing those. And I will never, ever get sick of the quote unquote rambling on about things, because, oh my God, it's awesome and incredible to hear.
Yeah. And Pierre, it was kind of funny, hearing Pierre talk about, oh my God, I'm sitting beside Dan Marino. Well, anybody that goes on the original Go Black and Gold charity fan cruise, you'll be sitting beside Pierre Thomas or Lance Moore or Tyrone Hughes or Courtney Roby or Michael Lewis or Delvin Bro, and you'll have an opportunity to hang out with all of them during that time period, which again, the cruise is from March 27th through the 31st. You can book your cabins, cabin through the Seven Seas Travel Agency, or contact Shireen DeWalt through the Go Black and Gold Celebrity Charity Fan Cruise Facebook page, and make sure that you are part of the Bayou Blitz Facebook group or one of our affiliated groups, Who Dat Domination, Who Dat Nation, and Under the Dome. And Brendan, you talked about giving free shout outs to these different companies before. I think it's time. I think it's time we give something. Yeah, we got to pass out a little bit more love here.
Yeah, we got to pay some bills, as the radio guys say. We got to pay some bills. So with that, if you guys had Pierre Thomas in fantasy football over the years,
And I did.
you racked up some points. I mean, one of the greatest, if not the greatest, screen running back of all time. That is a question we will get to with him in 2025 before the cruise, because there was a special chemistry between him and Drew Brees, and the timing, it was uncanny. But with all of that said, you guys were probably thinking back then, will Pierre Thomas rack up higher than half of a receiving touchdown? Or if we're going modern, will Alvin Kamara get, lower than 35 and a half receiving yards? You guys can think up stuff like that, cook up those entries for a shot to win real cash prizes all football season long. Remember, Red Zone Rush. It's a game you won't find anywhere else. Just pick whether or not a player will score a touchdown by swiping right for yes or left for no. It's as simple as that. Plus, your entry will automatically be boosted, and you'll get a 51% profit boost when you play. I mean, shoot, if that game was around when Pierre Thomas was playing, you would have had a lot of opportunities, 40 career touchdowns in the black and gold for Pierre Thomas. I should say 40 scrimmage touchdowns for Pierre Thomas in the black and gold. You can win up to 1,000 times your money by just choosing that higher or lower on players' stats like passing yards, rushing touchdowns, etc. And you guys remember, Bob and I are due. It's not even about streaks at this point. You have to look past the results, but Bob and I are due. So maybe, just maybe, you guys tail our pick'em entry on Sunday. We'll have it for you live here with the Bayou Blitz pregame show on Sunday. So before then, go ahead and download the app. Use code Bayou Blitz to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Again, download the app today and use code Bayou Blitz to get up to $1,000 bonus cash instantly. You got to be 18 or older, 19 or older in Alabama or Nebraska, 19 or older in Colorado for some games, 21 or older in Massachusetts and Arizona. Got to be present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. If you're concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. If you're in Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342. And if you're in New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. That's 467369. Bob, we do have a pregame show on Sunday.
Oh, by the way, the Saints have a game this Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, shoot. We've been so fortunate. It's like every week we're talking to a Saints great. That sometimes, those conversations don't allow us to talk about current Saints football. We'll have all of that on Sunday morning for you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed a week off where the Saints didn't get your, heart racing. Or Bob's shaking his head. No, I didn't have a relaxing weekend. Bob, what are you talking about? The Saints didn't play.
No, listen, I'm shaking my head in kind of amusement because I am proud to announce, as a writer who covers football for a living, that I did not watch a single down of football this weekend. No high school on Friday, no high school playoffs on Friday, no college on Saturday, no pro on Sunday, no pro on Sunday night, no pro on Monday night. I only saw 3 highlight plays. The Terry McLaurin Hail Mary type play, the Washington extra point miss after that miracle play, and the Dallas onside return for a touchdown. That's only because I got notifications of it, and I'm like, oh my God, I got to see what dysfunction went down in this game. So I saw those 3 plays as highlights. That's it. So I took a literal break from football this week, but I'm excited for the Saints to get back on the field. The boys in the fleur-de-lis, they're on a bit of a roll. Winning 2 straight. Have a chance to, really. I mean, they're facing a good Rams team, and a Rams team that on paper they don't match up real well with. So I think it's an interesting matchup. And like you said, we're going to break it down ad nauseum on Sunday. But the Saints with a win against the Rams, and maybe a little bit of luck throughout the rest of the NFC. They could crawl a little bit closer to playoff contention here.
Which is crazy to say out loud. But, Pierre brought up Jim Carrey, so you're telling me there's a chance. No, that's kind of crazy you said all that because I'm in the same boat as you. No Friday football, no Saturday, no Sunday, no Monday. The only things that I saw highlights of Thursday night because of the snow game, and then naturally NFL Films and Jameis Winston, which is a match made in heaven.
It really is.
The Browns social media admins are like praising God that Jameis Winston came in their life this year because there's just so much content and so many things that Jameis says. So that's pretty much all I watched. I didn't watch a single down of football. It was very nice just to have a weekend of just, kind of breathe in, breathe out, enjoy some time with the family, which we don't get to do, on Sundays during football season. It is month after month after month of just doing our jobs. So it was very nice to spend some time with the family. Hopefully you did with Lord and Will as well. With that, Bob, you're back in the saddle. You're writing articles. You're doing your thing, right? You got our show. You got Jordy. You got whatever else you do this week. So where can people follow you and your work, and maybe pictures of plate 4 from Thanksgiving dinner this week?
We're going to have a couple rounds of Thanksgiving dinner because the Rose Thanksgiving this year starts on Wednesday night. One of the reasons why we're doing a show, this evening, and then obviously, the more, the more traditional, which in our case will be leftovers on Thursday. But we're still going to work. Myself, John Hendricks, Kyle T. Mosley at the Saints News Network, at Saints News on Twitter, or the SI.com New Orleans Saints page. I feel like we're a day behind on it because we did so many outside the box articles last week because of the bye. But we're going to give you, our Saints Rams breakdown, as we head towards Sunday on offensive previews, defensive previews, X factors, etc. So look for all three of us to do, be doing that, as well as other pieces, other videos, other shows, like you said, Brendan. So you can catch those on the Saints News Network, and I post them on my personal page as well, at personal pages as well. Bob Rose on Facebook, at Bobby R 2613. And as always, if you aren't already a member of A, what's wrong with you, and B, hurry up and click that join button for the Bayou Blitz Facebook group. It's where we stream all of our shows, live or otherwise. And you can also catch them on the past shows, by the way, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Red Circle, anywhere that you catch your podcasts. But the Bayou Blitz Facebook group, also post links on how to get involved with Shireen DeWalt and the original Go Black and Gold charity fan cruise, information on how to book a cabin, how to donate, promote, and other promotional information. And on that note, thank you again, Michael Lewis, for joining us and doing our introductions this evening. Can't wait to have Michael on for his own, solo show. We've been trying to nail down that busy young man, and his scheduling compared to ours. And certainly a thank you to Pierre Thomas as well. Pierre, great contact. Listen, I know Brendan feels the same way. I could have talked to either one of you guys one-on-one for 3 hours and still thought of questions. Man, I wish I would have asked that. Man, I wish I would have asked this. So I can't wait to get you guys back on either.
Absolutely. For myself, you can follow me virtually everywhere at BT Boylan. It's been a little quiet for me lately, but won't be quiet forever. There are some things in the work in the background, as always, right, Bob? It never stops. There's always something going on in the backgrounds, and I'm excited to share that stuff when the time is right. But
are we going to have a Bayou Blitz 30 for 30 done on us? Because I think that would come across a little bit better than the old VH1 behind the Bayou Blitz scenes, right?
Yeah. 30 for 30 is dramatic. Like, have we had that many things happen since we've started doing the show together?
We legitimately like each other, unless you're hiding something from me. So I don't know. I think behind the music, like the VH1 used to do with all these groups back in the day, I don't think that would work on us. I've teased the Bayou Blitz only fans. I have a feeling we would lose money rather than make it.
Yeah.
So, I think a 30 for 30 with all the great guests we've had over the last few months,
That would be
especially.
fun.
I think the 30 for 30 would be a bigger money maker.
Let's call the youngest member of the North Carolina Film Critics Association a mutual friend, Thomas Manning. Hey, Thomas, let's get a documentary going, right? Like Thomas already won an award for one. What's one more, right? Like let's go ahead and run it back. But with all of that said, thank you, Pierre Thomas. Thank you, Michael Lewis, for hanging out with us this evening. Thank you to all of you who have kind of altered your time and schedules to come hang out with us. I hope all of you have a healthy and safe and fun Thanksgiving holiday. Bob and I will be back on Sunday to talk New Orleans Saints and Los Angeles Rams. I almost said St. Louis. It happens every time. I'm still not used to it. Same with the Raiders. I almost say Oakland every time. Same with the Chargers. I almost say San Diego. It's just instilled into my brain. Now for you, the Chargers the Rams thing is probably it was probably hard for you to do St. Louis.
Yeah, it was.
So I'm the opposite, just different,
it was.
different generations.
Even Pierre and Mike during their careers, there was not only not a Los Angeles Rams, there wasn't an LA Raiders either. There was no team in Los Angeles through I think we know Pierre played 2007 through 2015 or 16, ending his career with the 49ers and the Redskins. Michael Lewis played 2001 through 2006. That there was no franchise in Los Angeles during either one of those guys' careers. So you wouldn't have been the only one on the panel tonight to slip up and call him St. Louis.
I almost did. I caught myself, but I almost did. With that, guys, again, hope you guys have a great holiday week. Until Sunday, find some peace, spread love, practice positivity, have a belly full of food, and we'll see you for the pregame show on Sunday. Who dat?
Yeah.